In this video, I will tell you everything that you must know before you play Cyberpunk 2077 yourself. Make sure to watch the video till the very end to get to know everything about the game. And if you want to have a chance to win a copy of the game for you or your friend, hit the like, subscribe, and also ring the bell down below. So let's get into all the things that you must know. First off, I want to let you know that this game really isn't for kids. There is a lot of adult content in the game itself, even more than in GTA 5. They actually stepped the game up. The game is set in America in a city called Night City, and this is the dark future. In the city, we can see a lot of brutal violence, alcoholic use, a lot of drugs abuse, and we can also see a lot of women in the strip clubs or have a really romantic scene, if you know what I mean. So for these specific scenes, there are actually filters, so as a content creator, you don't end up streaming a really hot scene. So like I've seen already, things can really escalate quickly. Obviously, you can go to the strip club and then actually meet up with the lady there. But you can actually have a relationship with the character as well. You can pick your target and then go talk to her. And after a couple of conversations, you may end up somewhere else with her. But that's obviously based on the decisions you make in the conversations. So let's hope once we figured out a tactic, this works in real life too. So you can obviously get your weapons by picking up the enemy their weapons. But there are more ways to get weapons in the game, which I can't clarify for you guys just yet. But what you should know is that there are power weapons, there are tech weapons, as well as smart weapons, melee weapons, cyberware, and throwable weapons. So the oldest and also the most familiar class of weapon in Cyberpunk 2077 is the power weapon. These guns are traditional ammo and projectile technology, and of course they are a reliable source of damage against most enemy types in Night City. And then you have the tech weapons, opting instead for the railgun approach. These guns boast the highest penetration factor of any weapon class. Cover can be shot through in Cyberpunk 2077, which makes the tech weapons a very agreeable choice in many combat situations. The downside of these weapons is that your shots have to launch up, and that is obviously limiting your fire rate. And then there are smart weapons available in Cyberpunk 2077. These weapons use gyrojet technology to fire tiny rockets rather than bullets, and which then obviously fly towards the targeted enemy. There are plenty of melee weapons available in the game. I know they can use, for example, dildos to attack your enemies, but on top of that, there are also samurai swords. We don't know how effective melee weapons are just yet. We'll have to see when the game eventually comes out. Then there is a huge variety of cyberware, which doesn't seem to have any particular strength or weaknesses like all the other weapons. These body modifications range from a melee option such as the iconic Metin's blades to ranged options like a tiny missile launcher built into your hand. So far, it's unclear whether these weapons will take up a weapon slot for your character or what cyberware we can actually use when we are really deep in the game. And then there's also a throwable class of weapons. Presumably, these are only to be used to supplement your character's primary methods of dealing damage, although we will be able to use more throwables when the game actually releases. The game also has character mods and abilities that you can upgrade. But you can only do this by actually completing side quests in the open world. So of course, you can have weapons and collect them and try to get the best weapons as you possibly can in the game. But you are a weapon yourself as well, as you can adjust all different attributes. You can adjust your body, intelligence, your reflex, your technical ability, and also your cool. And on top of that, there is also a character perk skill tree. For example, your technical ability determines how much of a tech specialist you are. It improves your proficiency in crafting items, especially weapons, as well as your proficiency with tech weapons and effectiveness against drones, mechs, and robots in combat. Each level increases your armor by 5%. Your technical ability also unlocks unique dialogue options and opens new pathways for you around the world. And of course, Cyberpunk 2077 is a RPG game, a roleplay game, so all the decisions that you make obviously changes the path that you walk during the storyline, but also in the side quests. And at the very beginning of the game, you have 3 difficult choices to make already. You can choose between the life path, the nomads, the street kid, or the corpo. So as a nomad, you are a complete badass and you value your family over anything in the world. If you start playing the game, you will actually start playing in the Badlands, because that's where these guys are always at. And this is also where they feel at home. And you can start off as a street kid as well, and you will start off in the middle of Night City, because yeah, you are actually a street kid and a low-life one as well, because you will mostly see the low-life aspect of the city. So for the nomads as well as the street kid, it will be really hard to get yourself some dollar and higher up. But if you are a corpo, it is going to be a whole lot easier, because a corpo is a spoiled person that is, for example, living in a skyscraper. You never really go out of the corporation though, so you are losing your freedom with all the money that you own. So far, I know most people are playing as a street kid, then we have the nomads, and lastly we have the corpo. Let me know down below in the comments what you want to play as. You can pause the game at any time and go directly into photo mode to make the most beautiful pictures. What is cool here is that you can rotate your character, change the position, and also change the pose and a whole lot more. And the system works like a real camera would. The game itself is obviously first person, but there's also third person view in the game as well. For example, if you are riding a bike or when you are sitting in a car, you can actually go ahead and change the view to third person there. But mainly the game is going to be first person. If you didn't clear up your drive so far, it is about time, because on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, the game is going to be 102 gigabytes without the day 1 patch included, so we'll probably end up with 150 gigabytes in total. We talked about the world of Cyberpunk 2077, the weapons, the upgrades, the skill build, as well as third person and first person, the download size of the game, the life paths, photo mode, the decision making, and much more. I'm already enjoying the game so far, but I'm not allowed to tell you anything more than that. I will be uploading the most helpful guides about Cyberpunk 2077, and I will cover everything there is in the game to help you out and also to show right here on the channel. If you found this video helpful in any way, don't forget to hit the like on the video. If you want to see more Cyberpunk 2077 related videos, subscribe and ring that bell. 2 videos on the screen and 1 for you to click on. I hope you guys are going to have an amazing day. This is B-Boy Cheese. I'm out. Peace.